Hello. Excuse me. I should have done it before I turned the mic on. Whatever. Radical. Thank you for sniping first. Grats. And thank you for liking. No problem. I appreciate you being here. Welcome, everybody. I don't know why my start screen freezes like that occasionally. You may have noticed. It flashed black for a second when I reset it, and it was going fine until it froze at exactly the same location. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it does that. All the other animations or backgrounds or whatever that are running run just fine, but for some reason that one just freezes occasionally. And you know, sometimes technology does these things, and you're just like, I don't care enough to fix this. It's like I don't have time for your games. Just whatever, It said starting. That was good enough. I was like, fine. Summer, welcome back to the Parisian grind, eh? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Back to the mispronunciation of a beloved language's words, which you'll see what happens today. But how are you doing? I hope you're well. Yeah, we just it's been a little while since we played, but we finished the room 3, and I didn't want to start. Word. Yeah, very tired. Oh, no. I sympathise, but that does not help, so I apologise that I'm sorry. Not apologise, it's not my fault, but I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling so bad. But, hopefully we can offer some consolation, perhaps a bit of levity to the day with my terrible words. Yeah, I just... It's been a while since we played. Like I said, we finished the room 3. I didn't want to start 4 in the same week as finishing 3 when I still have this sort of outstanding. I want to get to the end of this case at least. Just see sort of what's going on with it, how it pans out, how the game plays, I don't know. I don't really know what to expect, and I've got to try and remember now what I have forgotten probably every time I play this for the last several times. Because what are we up to now? This is stream 4, 5, I think, somewhere around there. Crazy. Steam says that I've got about 6 hours in the game. I think that's quite a lot, really, considering I still don't really feel like I know what's happening. Obviously, we know the plot and everything, but the actual gameplay style, I still don't know how it's going to end. So that'll be interesting. But yeah, so it's a lovely day. I was going to do I was going to do some gardening because I did a bunch of gardening last week, but when we have to dispose of our garden waste, it goes in a green like wheelie bin, like regular rubbish goes in a wheelie bin, goes out to the curb for collection. Well, this goes in a green garden waste bin, goes out to the curb for collection, but it goes out on Fridays, so today, and they haven't emptied it yet from last week. So because I had so much gardening to do, it filled up quite quickly, and now I still have more gardening to do because, of course, we've had all this lovely rain and a bit of warmth, and the grass is growing like mental. So now that it's dried out slightly for a couple of days, I thought, excellent, I'll get the lawns mowed because they really need it. But I can't empty the lawnmower when it's done yet, so I might as well save that for tomorrow and stream. Not that I would have swapped them as such, because I don't usually stream on Saturdays, but I was going to maybe do gardening early enough and then maybe get in a later stream, but we'll just forego the gardening entirely. Nevik, congrats on your on 2nd, and Wifey, thank you for 3rd. So yeah, I think it's been a pretty good week. We had went out with some friends for dinner last night. Twitch crashed. It crashed for you? I assume you can still hear me. Everything seems to be fine this end. Is that why you got 3rd? All good on my end. No, it's fair enough, yeah. It's probably just a one-sided app thing. But yeah, we had dinner with some friends last night. That was very nice. Unfortunately, we all kind of agreed that the meal's going a bit downhill. It's a place we've been to a lot. It's sort of like it's a local. We do your phone app. It would have been first, otherwise. No. I don't know. Ranical was in there pretty quick. But yeah, we've been there quite a lot. It was our yeah, it's our local. We did our pub quizzes there and things like that. But they sort of recently revamped, and that was not so bad. It was just a bit of a tart up, like they redecorated slightly, but they didn't redo everything. We were worried it was going to turn into some kind of bistro, gastro pub, like really sort of too modern for the building it's in, because it's in an old, a really old building, and it has a nice aesthetic. But no problem. Thank you. But so they didn't ruin the building or anything, which is good. But then the food is just getting too expensive for what you're getting. It really wasn't sort of filling, which is also, that's a problem. It was nice enough, but I mean, of the 2 times we've been here, they've got orders wrong. Since they've redecorated, I mean, the 2 times since then they've got orders wrong, and you're just like, it's easily fixed, but they shouldn't really be doing it. And they stopped onion rings, yeah, exactly. So it's just, we feel like the quality's kind of gone downhill, and that's a bit of a shame. But these days, when you've got such limited resources, because getting out for a meal is expensive these days, because of course the cost of everything's gone up. So when it's your one sort of day out with friends, to have a nice meal, you just think, well, if we're going to spend the money, we might as well put it to somewhere that's actually going to work out rather than just make do, So that may be the end of that. But then we'd be moving soon anyway, so it wouldn't be our local for longer. So we're like, that's the end of that chapter. Never mind. So, but it's always good to catch up with friends and see people. And yeah, so that was nice. And I think that's it, really. The week has been the regular week otherwise. So I hope you have all been well and taking care of yourselves in general. And I think that's it, really. We might as well head into the game, which I have to start, because this one is one of those, it doesn't shut up in the background, so I have to close it first before we can actually do anything with it. So prepare to watch the bitrate tank as it tries to load the game at the same time. We finished Room 3 the other day, as I said. Room 4 coming early next week, because I have that one. I'm surprised they haven't made any more in the last few years. Cut to the game would be handy. Yeah, but although I was recommended a series similar to it, because of course there's always other people sort of doing similar things, isn't there? So we'll hopefully have more like it in the coming months, years, whatever. There's also actually sorry, I know I've swapped to the game and I'm still talking, but the point is they've just announced, Cyan Games just announced the release date for the Riven remake, which I'm extremely tempted by, although I can't justify it at the moment. I will in the future. So that means that, because the plan is to play through the games, the whole Myst series was on the card somewhere. That means that for the first and second game now have remakes, which make them a little more palatable generally. So that would be nice when that finally comes around. And to be honest, completely honest, I don't think you even need to remake the others. They may not be modern as such. We're not talking 4K or anything like that, but I think they are still perfectly serviceable. In fact, I thought Riven was good, but you can obviously see a graphical change, for a slightly sort of modern feature. Onion rings should always be done. Exactly. Yeah, you can tell the difference. Definitely tell the difference in 1, and you can certainly tell the difference in 2. For 3, yeah, they'd be upping the quality of it, fidelity essentially. But I don't think it really needs adjusting otherwise. I think the gameplay is perfectly fine. And same for sort of 4 and 5. Well, 5, do you know what? I haven't replayed 5 in years. I'm not sure what I think of that. I'm still replaying 4, technically. I'll get around to that. See, I can't play the Myst series until I've actually finished replaying them myself. Because I kickstarted the backing when they updated them to like Windows 10 compatible. Kickstarted the backing. I mean, I backed the Kickstarter when they made that, and so I got a compatible copy of all the games, and so I've been replaying those. I was like, this is great, but I'm just slow going. It's just me, unfortunately. Yeah, so I'm still working on 4, so I can't reasonably start streaming them until I've finished a playthrough at least. But anyway, so they're all coming for the future, so that would be nice. Anyway, point is, we're back to Nightcall. So we'll hit continue. I don't know where it... Hang on. 1 second. If I click notice it... Oh, that's literally just the same save. Okay. 5 hours, 38 minutes. Wait, 5 hours, 38 minutes? I've got over 6 hours. So somewhere I've sat around for this on the like menu screen or something like that for 20 minutes. At least. Husband... Isn't free if only. Free kibble. Right. Okay. Oh, right. Jeez. Sorry, a message popped up for Nightbot. I was like, what are you doing? Oh, it's that thing I told you to do before. You open an eye. You slept badly. Sometimes you're so tired you can't seem to get any rest. Have we had that one before? That doesn't sound familiar. You'd like to understand how that's even possible. Yeah. You get up quickly. A few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Night 6. Here we are. I don't know how many nights there are. We'll see if we can get 2 in today. Try and sort of, not speed run it, but just try not to muck around so much like I normally do. Ah, right. Okay. Here we are. Now, gold ones. These are plot people, I believe. If I remember correctly. Let's get him in there. He, you know, there's no guarantee we'll get closer to him anyway, so might as well just kill a bit of time getting that way. Oh. You slow down? The smell of cigarettes creeps in around you. It turns into stale cigarette smell. Then the smell of a freshly stricken match. Stricken? Not struck. No, I guess it isn't. Interesting. I would have written that sentence badly. You slowly raise your head to look into the rearview mirror. He is there. Oh, is this future us? So, Judas, happy to see me again? He reveals a row of pearly whites. 2 white. No worries, I won't be here long. It occurred to me, since your wife left you, you haven't gotten laid, have you? Well, I guess you would know. That must be hard on morale, huh? And I mean, there were opportunities. There was Cynthia, that her name? The nurse who changed your bag of piss. The perfect introduction. Hang on. But haven't we had... We had an affair with a businesswoman, didn't we? She was something to do with records, and she gave us some files. We were her bit on the side, so was she our bit on the side as well? Because when did we break up with our wife and as such not sleep with anybody? Interesting. He lets out a snicker. Or that chick you never called back. What was her name again? Julie? Exactly. He smiled. Julie. Julie. Pretty Julie. Why are we such a dick to ourselves? Why? When did we turn into the bad guy? When was it? 5 months back? 6 maybe? Something like that. A passenger, a smile, numbers swapped in the taxi. Oh. A coffee. Her hair cut a bit too short. That's alright, it grows. But you're into short hair, aren't you? You like it when they look like dudes, don't you? Well, no, because the other woman had long hair, so it's clearly not a trend as such. Say nothing. He's just a figment of your imagination. You lower your eyes. Bits and pieces of the coffee date start to resurface. So, why didn't you call her back? Julie, she left you messages. The last syllable hangs in the air. She wanted to see you again. Julie. Lie? The last syllable shimmers. She wanted to keep conversing with you. Why does he keep saying Julie? Why do you keep saying her name? The last syllable burns. Tell the truth? We don't know what the truth is, so maybe we want to hear this? What is the truth? She scared me. Ooh. He smacks his thigh. There it is. She scared you. Because she was... He's waiting for you to answer, but you can't get the words out. They're stuck on the tip of your tongue. Because that Julie was smarter than you. Because you knew she was going to talk about shit you wouldn't understand. Oh. Because you're too stupid. It's such a dick. His posture shifts. It's almost imperceptible, but it's like he is melting into the back seat. You're too stupid. You lose your temper. You turn around and scream at him. Just shut the fuck up already. He has vanished. You're alone in the cab. This doesn't bode well for how it looks. A truck passes you. The sound of the city slowly comes back to life. A metro in the distance. Party on the first floor of a nearby building. You turn the car on, but let your fingers linger on the keys. The metal is neither warm nor cold, just reassuring. You stay like that for a second before driving off. Wow, okay, we're miles from where we wanted to be. Wait, and that's not even the... We didn't even make it to the guy we were supposed to pick up. So was that all plot related, or did we just miss our opportunity? Okay. Well, I guess we're going to need to make some money, otherwise we're going to end up falling short here. This is literally the closest guy, so why not? Because I think it costs us like $200-300 a night. Jesus Christ, how far is he going? 40. Yeah, sure, okay. I think sometimes the length of the journey just describes how long you're going to be talking. You immediately recognize the next passenger getting into your taxi. You never watch television, rarely listen to the radio, you didn't read the newspaper, and yet you know Francois Delanure's face? Polemicist? Polemicist. I don't know what that first one is. Polemicist. Novelist, columnist, politician too, you think. Your passenger distractedly gives you his address. You start driving. He appears to be out of breath. His voice and hands are shaking. Unbelievable. He separates each syllable as if it's going to protect him from the violence around him. Unbelievable. Is everything okay? We're the chatty type. Can you begin to fathom what a public danger this represents? What? A mere 5 minutes ago, I wanted to cross the street. Suddenly, slicing through the darkness in deafening silence, came an electric car. Oh. Yes, I have heard that some people are... Like, you can still hear electric cars because, of course, the motors may not be combustion, but they still make some noise. But it has thrown a lot of people off, especially if there's other noise going on. They're much quieter than everything else. I've heard that some people have essentially petitioned, I believe. If they haven't actually petitioned, there is a desire that to add synthetic noise to electric cars so that people can hear them coming, you know. But I'm not sure how much I feel about that. The idea of making the world quieter and then making it purposefully louder for other people. I don't know, because I'm divided. I understand people's need for it, but it just feels counterintuitive, you know. I feel like there must be some other part we can do for that. Anyway. So asphalt-coated tyres drove right over the tip of my loafer. It's shot, I can tell. The leather is compressed and streaked with mud and soot. It's a travesty. A travesty! He begins writing furiously. You catch a few words from time to time. What for? For the environment? Create more road deaths? Save polar bears? It's the route I'd pick. Wow, you right. He leaves you hanging for a second before grinning. Another badly thought out stunt from the snowflake hipster lobby. Quinoa. Electric planes that would crash into Charles de Gaulle Airport without a sound. Well, no, I think the crash will still make a noise. You hear a throaty laugh. The Earth? Safe, intact, clean, but at what cost? No way, Jose. Our planet produces oil, so we must use it. Oh, wow. It would be unnatural not to. Unnatural indeed. He chuckles crudely. As crudely as the oil he produces. No, I don't know. Rise up in defense of the sweet purr of the convertible, just as they would the hoot of an owl in danger of extinction in the lush forests of the Champagne region. Wow. Murderer, assassin, the ferocious silence made to oppress us. He puts down his notebook. A wolfish grin spreads across his face. Yes, magnificent editorial. Just magnificent. What about you? Would you want to have a silent car? I'm going to go full on opposition. Yes. Wow, God's green earth. Looks better. Irrelevant. Makes less noise. Yes. Better for the environment. Yeah, he didn't say a green car, just a silent car. Makes less noise. Your silence speaks 1,000 words. Silence implies consent, of course. What? A city without noise is not a city. Mark my words. Oh, God. You drive in silence for a few minutes. In the back seat, the polemicist is fuming, and you catch occasional snippets of nonsense. Hang on, I'm going to have to look this up if they said it twice now. What's going on? Polemic. Contentious rhetoric intended to support a specific position by forthright claims and to undermine the opposing position. The practice of such augmentation is called polemics, which is seen as arguments on controversial topics. Oh, okay. A controversial arguer. Okay, fair enough. Catch occasional snippets of nonsense. Yes. The taxi's almost reached your passenger's place. It's just here. You pull up in front of the address, an old building, freshly renovated. On the top floor, the bay windows shine faintly in the darkness as the Eiffel Tower's spotlights wash over them. Your passenger sighs. Le sigh. Oh, the devils, the fools. It's the middle of the night and they're still having the time of their lives. He opens the window in his side and screams at a packed cafe. The heated patio is filled with young people, well dressed and quite drunk. When will you cease this madness? Then turns to you to whisper, as if in secret. Every night they make one hell of a racket. Impossible to get a wink of sleep. But didn't he just say that a city without noise is not a city? He pays, gets out the car, and is in front of the bar in 3 angry leaps. Oh, right. You could hear his voice from far away, a few words and some outdated swearing with a whiff of senility. Senility, sorry. You stop listening and drive off. Okay. 53. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh no. Said I'll take it. No, don't crash on me now. Jitbob, hello, welcome. You come just in time to fix the game, maybe. Oh no. How are you doing? Hope you're well. We I broke the game. No. Okay, so that still works. Come on. Can't be the mouse button's broken already. By which I mean within, you know, scenes. There's no alternative to press enter. Hang on. General options? No. Okay, there's nothing about actually audio. Music's down quite. Only the sequel to Full Throttle will have a bug like this. Oh no. But it only autosaves at like the beginning of nights. We'd have to redo this whole bit again. Maybe, hang on. I'm gonna rack my brains here. Maybe if I can, maybe if I tab out. Give it a little bit of a refresh. Like just mucking around somewhere else. Come back to the game. We're in. Okay. Wait. Let's see where it puts us. Now, it's my belief it saves. See that little flash in the bottom right? That's the save. Yeah, okay. Saves at the beginning of the day. Night 6, 10 o'clock. God damn it. We've already had this conversation with... Hang on, we could speedrun this since I don't have to read it if it's what it's going to give us. So is this set? Is it going to be exact... I wonder if the locations change, but the people are the same. Because I'm pretty sure I remember this character still being there. And of course we've got this one, which is the one I chose. We'll go for that. So we get what we need. Need red. Cabby? Yes, yeah. Open it up. Oh, wait. It didn't interject this time. So it's it runs differently. What the hell? Okay. It's... How is this pronounced? Hervé? Harvey? I don't know. Harvey. We'll see. Hervé. Hervé. I'll go with that. That's how it looks. The door opens. It's Hervé. Greets you with a bizarre verbal tick as usual. We've ruled this guy out, though, haven't we? So we don't need to speak to him. We know it's not him. He's not one of the two suspects. God damn it. Good to see you again, Jen. Why does he call us Jen again? I can't remember. Hi, Hervé. You start the engine. Anyway. Your passenger keeps looking over his shoulder, clearly worried. Everything okay? Yeah, sure, no worries. His voice trails off. He seems to be collecting himself. It's just, there's a cop on my tail. Jail. A cop? Has anybody come round asking about me? What do you mean? You know, like from the crime squad. Nah, nobody's been talking to me about you. That guy's been driving me crazy, asking all these questions, digging up my past, you know what I mean. Why is he doing that? His voice sounds shrill all of a sudden. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's about as shrill as I can get without deafening people. At first I thought it was that killer, you know, the serial killer. That he was after me. Why would he be after you? Because I saw his face. What? He pauses, just enough time for your brain to process the information. You got a look at the judge? The passenger gives you a funny smile. I saw him in profile. Mile. So sometimes he ends his sentences with rhymes? Okay, but not always. Interesting. That's what the Jen thing was about, okay. His profile or his face? Profile. But what's the difference? It's like 50 feet away from him, man. I was like, yeah. I was like sleeping in an alley just across the street from where, well, you know, he killed the last victim. My stomach hurt. I couldn't sleep and, you know, I saw him in profile. He had this weird way of walking, sort of hunched over as if he were tired. That's all? Or old, maybe? Yeah, that's all. That's all I saw. I had on black gloves and the streets were dark. I didn't see anything else. He's staring at you. Why do you care, man? Oh. The Sans Abri. Have they helped you with your investigation? Okay. Oh, no, we didn't. So it's a bit of a weird blag. Curious is all. Yeah, well, if the cop comes around again, you tell him to go fuck off. I'm not going to tell the police anything. Not a damn thing. Unlurk, Radical, welcome back. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. A note of anger has crept back into his voice. God damn it, cops. God damn cops, even. They're never there when you need them. I'm sure hell ain't gonna help Yelp. They can go kick. Sick. Jesus. He looks away, furious. You keep quiet and focus on the road. All of a sudden, your passenger gives the seat belt. Gives the seat back in front of him a thump. Hey, stop that. Stop right here, near. You slow down and pull over as soon as you can. Okay, I'm out of here. See you later, man. He reaches for the door. You're a good guy, you know that? Take care of yourself. We try. Having some weird neck cracking day. Dealing with it. We're needing a salad. How's your own day? What was something vague about your starting screen having an issue? Oh yeah, it's just for some reason the starting screen keeps crashing occasionally and it just freezes. But it stopped on starting, so that's good enough. I don't know about it. It's the only thing that does freeze, and I don't understand why that one thing. But whatever. No, the worst thing is we just had the game break. We got to the end of a journey, it wouldn't let us continue, so we had to restart. But now it's different, so we haven't we've restarted, but we're playing different things. It's weird. So I don't know. We get the content, I guess, either way. But still, it's a shame to have to replay that part of the day, you know? Open the window on your side. You're dying for a cigarette. To relieve the pressure. To calm your racing heart. Take a deep breath, then drive. You take a deep breath, then drive away. Getting a free playthrough. Exactly. Oh, they gave us nothing but info. Son of a bitch. Just drop you anywhere along here. Cheers, mate. Todus, welcome. Hello. How you doing? How to end of the week. Weekend starts now. Or sometime previously. I hope you're well. Where are we? We're here. So I guess that's the closest one, isn't it? And none of these are like important ones. So none of them are highlighted. So we'll just go for the nearest one and try and get some money. That's what we need. Yeah, because first time round, we had a conversation with ourselves from the future, or whatever it is, a weird vision, and it hasn't replayed that. So I wonder, it probably won't count as happening now, I guess. Jenabu Henri. Jesus. Okay, long weekend. Woohoo! I love that dancing emo. What is it that's freezing? The starting screen is a video or a browser source. It's a media file, so it's essentially a MP4, I think, if I got the media correct. I can't remember exactly what format off the top of my head, but yeah, it's just a simple background animation. So I mean, it's a couple of megabytes in and of itself because it's just a simple cycle. You know? Format does have hardware acceleration on, so it does not unload when not active. Also about fixing that off stream if that happens regularly. It doesn't always seem to happen, but it happens with some frequency, and like I said, I just don't understand why that, because I don't refresh anything else. Nothing else ever freezes. It's only ever that one screen, and I don't know why that one, when all the others have different settings. So like the chatting screen with the like little spinning thing on, that's the same file format, and that has never frozen. But it's also not set to, you know, it's set to restart every time because it's a simple loop. You want it at the beginning, basically. Whereas I have another one which is set to not start at the beginning. It never refreshes. It's always in the background. And that's always fine as well. I don't know. It's weird settings. It's kind of irrelevant. Don't worry. I'll probably be changing it soon anyway because I just feel like mixing things up occasionally. So, you know, and it is a bit janky. I just threw it in there because it was something relatively easy to do. I'll try and get something a little more polished when I get time. I've got so many other things going on at the moment, which is weird for the amount of time that I sit around doing seemingly nothing. But it's a matter of, you know, being able to get the PC time and process things, you know, whilst mixed around with everything else. Anyway, I appreciate the offer. I'll come to you if I need it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be that relevant at the moment anyway. Right, anyway, so yeah, we'll take the job. It'll get us somewhere. It'll do us something. Differ a lot. You sit around doing seemingly nothing. I sit around doing actually nothing. Well, no, it ultimately is nothing. I still have a lot to do. It's just a matter of I don't always get it done, which is why I always have a lot to do. It's just jobs seem to pile up, and I get the bits done I can, and then, you know, more get added on. So it's an ever-growing list, really. Anyway, the young woman who gets in your cab is exhausted. Her voice is thick, her eyes half closed, her movements jerky. Her name tag is still pinned to her jacket. She gets her address wrong twice and makes a brief but polite apology. Is her own address wrong? Okay. You start the cab and leave the hospital parking lot. Oh, we're in a hospital. Okay. A few minutes later, you clear your throat. I still like turning this into little face. Hello. Hard night. The young woman doesn't answer. You turn around, your passenger is staring outside, shivering. You turn up the heat a little and continue on your way. Streets pass by as if you were alone in the world, not a soul in Paris. In the rearview mirror, the young woman starts twitching slightly, as if already dreaming. Oh, right, yeah. What could she be dreaming about? You're nearing the address she gave you. The minute you park, she opens her eyes and jolts awake. I was not sleeping. We're here. It takes her a second or two to realise where she is. A shift over, the cab. Gosh, sorry, She pays the fare and, despite her fatigue, manages a smile. Sorry. No problem. It wasn't very nice of me. Like I said, no problem. She nods her head tentatively. If you say so. What, just sleeping in a cab? I mean, yeah, a bit weird, but I'm sure he's had worse. We know he has. She blinks hard and is getting ready to leave the cab when she suddenly whispers. It feels like I'm already dead. Jesus. I think somebody needs to say, you know, just ask Paris, are they okay? There's a lot of people here who have some real problems. A pause. On the radio, an Algerian song plays. Do you know what? I don't think I would recognise an Algerian song, but never mind. She stayed put for a minute without speaking. The cab door is open, but just a crack. You didn't even hear the familiar click of the mechanism. The cold night air is seeping into the cab. Her eyes are riveted to her knees. I killed a patient tonight. Oh. By accident. Well, fair. She gets out all at once and says, good night. Your eyes follow her as she enters the building. You sit there for another minute until the light of the lobby automatically switches off. Okay. Wow. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait. This is the guy we had. Should we repeat it? Just because we had it, and I feel almost like I want it to be in there. Or do we go to someone else? I mean, he is still the closest anyway. But then we got our little... should we get continuity here with this guy? He's not that far away. Yeah, let's go to him. Because we've had him before, and he's like some kind of American embassy guy. Who that, but only that. Yeah, it's a slice of life, I guess, you know. She had to tell somebody. Oh my god, okay. How is that pronounced? Housin? Housin? Because H's aren't pronounced very well, very much at all, if they are really. Housin taxi? I'll take that. You recognize a passenger getting into your cab, an American guy who works for the CIA, that's it. Housin. Oh, Housin! Okay. Of course. Thank you. He settles into the backseat, his clothes reek of alcohol. Of course he's American, he's wearing a baseball cap. You recognize the deep, mild voice, the slight American accent. The stories, too. He's a funny guy, this one, both reassuring and disturbing. He gives you an address with a heavy sigh. You start the cab. Looks like I've made a mess of things again. God damn it, Milo. Silence hangs in the air. Your passenger seems to be formulating his thoughts. You married Amigo? Oh god, yeah, he keeps calling us. Is it always Amigo or something? Something just whatever. You know, he's always got some kind of thing going on. You shake your head, no. Got a girlfriend? Another negative nod. That's too bad. Good-looking guy like you too, all alone. What a waste. Thank you. He gazes absently out the window. Americans are like that, laid back yet distant. Maybe it's the booze, amigo, but I can't get this woman out of my head tonight. Man, what a woman. I'm not going to tell you where she's from. I'll just ask a ton of questions. Fair enough. If you ask questions, I'm going to have to lie to you, pal. And with you, I don't want to lie. You look like you're a chic type. I love that French expression. Chic type. A good guy. A far-off look comes over his face. What's the story? He clears his throat, then falls into a long silence, as if wondering where to begin. It all started in this place in Africa. Between you and me, pal, I really like Africa. People there are more alive, serious. What, all of Africa? That's a hell of a range of judgment. You just need to spend a couple of weeks there, no more than that, and you'll go nuts. Fair enough. You clench your teeth and remain perfectly still. Okay. We were working with a minister there, not a chic type like you. A traitor. A real son of a bitch. Say nothing. He stares blankly into space, wondering perhaps if he's divulging some big secret, and then continues his story. A note of bitterness has crept into his voice. Anyhow, the guy was getting difficult. We had two choices: either convince him to say things our way, or sabotage his car. That's what makes work in Africa so easy. The cars, I mean. Every continent had its own little quirk, a way of getting things done without any trouble. In Africa, it's the cars. So I contacted the minister's family and met his wife. Let's not break the flow of the story. A lady, of course. She was so beautiful, Migo. Such a beauty. His voice is slowed, like a worn-out LP. Oh, okay. There was... like a worn-out LP. There was this fierceness in her eyes. Know what I mean? An animal spirit. A lopsided grin spreads over his drunken face. She said she didn't like the Americans, preferred the French with their straightforward ways. She made me laugh. When someone dies in Africa, there's always a Frenchman in the picture. Either supplied the bullet, the gun, or the guy who got shot. He runs his fingers along the seam of his jeans. The material is heavy, almost coarse. She was so beautiful. He's gone off to some faraway time and place. You pulled up to the address he's given you. Bar that keeps late night hours. You make out snatches of animated conversation behind the lowered rolling shutter. All at once, he snapped out of his funk. This bar, amigo, is run by Russians, dissidents from the Soviet era. The boss spent 10 years in the Gulag, can you imagine? The Russians, those guys really knew how to deal with prisoners. That's where I would have sent that traitor, Snowden. And then it's the Russians who are protecting him. And now it's the Russians who are protecting him. He breaks off and raps at the window. Snowden? Drink with communists? Haven't heard the end of the story. It's not really our place to push, you know. Snowden. Anywho, who cares? He was a traitor, real son of a bitch. He reaches into his pocket and hands you a tip. You hesitate a moment, then accept the crumpled note. As he exits the cab, he offers his parting words. Not a word about what I told you tonight, okay? His words hang ominously in the air. Not a word to anyone about this dive. He climbs out of the cab, howling with laughter. You sit there for a moment, feeling pretty dumb. You start up the cab, and we're gone. Wait, he hands you a note for a tip. And the note is 48 cents. Thanks. Don't be too generous, would you? Good lord. Being a taxi driver is hard work. Right, who have we got around? It's almost imperceptible. Imperceptible? That's not the word I mean at all. It's almost incomprehensible, that's it, to me, why they would even bother putting people down here. I am not going to take this journey all the way down here to get this one character. I don't care enough about that. I'm not going to go all the way over here for this. I'm going to go to here for money, because we only have so much time in the day, and we need the money up. Because look at this, we've only... How much have we earned today? Like 60 quid, maybe. If that. 50, maybe. And we've got to get, you know, going to end up spending like 150 on like expenses or something. So already got to go. Good luck. We'll catch up later. No problem. Thank you for dropping by. Appreciate. Good to see you. Take care. Have a good rest of your day. Just do we glasses? Non-glasses. Let's just go the closest. I don't think we've seen this person before. What does it matter? Carlo Cerruti? Cerruti. Yeah. Hard K sounds wrong. But he's going to give us $17 fare. Sure. It's all money, isn't it? I guess. You end up spending more time jumping between passengers, you know. Passenger getting into your taxi is drunk. Oh, good. He all but trips as he's getting into the back seat, leaving a piece of his jacket stuck in the door as he slams it 10 times too hard. Oh. The whole street must have heard it. He tries to keep his calm as he gives you his address. You start driving, but keep an eye on him. You never know. His head lolls, his eyes roll. He rummages through his pockets looking for his phone. In vain. Hey, buddy, tell me, any chance you've seen my phone? Excuse me. Sorry, all this talking. Making me yawn for some reason. Nope. He looks around. What an idiot. I lost it earlier. Not here, at the bar. But if you lost it at the bar, where would it be in the car? Oh, Jesus. Steal his kidneys. No one will know. I don't think even he would know at this rate, no. He starts mumbling. Or somewhere. His eyes start to look like slits. Or at the bar. He's silent for a minute, trying to remember something. When he starts speaking again, he moans. She's gonna kill me. He turns a corner and he slides towards the door, hitting the window hard. Oh, fuck, that hurts. Seriously, man. Oh, okay. Now, do we mess with him by saying nothing? No point getting angry. Because he's just gonna come back at us, I guess. You okay? Sure, he's talking to us, so we'll talk back. Yeah, no, see my wife. She told me not to come here home too late. Maybe swear, cross my heart, the whole 9 yards. Then why the fuck are you turning up late, twat? Extra charge if you die in the car. The extra charge being all of your wallet. Before I dump the body. She just had a baby. Fuck's sakes. He corrects himself. We just had a baby. Yeah, exactly. But, you know, she's the one who carried it. Well, that's fair. Yes, yeah. We didn't find it in the street or anything. He smirks. He imagines that scenario. It's the cutest little baby, but I'm so done spending my nights wiping its ass. Well, really, so you thought your wife would, you know, be willing to pick up the slack. Jesus. So when my colleagues invited me out, he hiccups. Well, I mean, I said, okay. Like, I went with them, right? He shakes his head, disgusted. You've got to help me. I have to prepare an alibi. Jesus. An alibi? He nods, sure of himself. Yeah, an alibi. An explanation for where I was tonight and what I did. So she doesn't beat the shit out of me. No, I think you deserve it, mate. I traded it for shots. Hope she's not too mad. He pauses. Dude, I'm serious. You got to help me. No. Sorry, but no. I'm a taxi driver, not a screenwriter. Your passenger looks at you out of the corner of his eye, rather surprised. I need some sort of alibi. You can see I'm too toasted to do it on my own. Exactly. So let her beat the shit out of you and stop being a douchebag. I just need an evening to myself. A calm evening. All these bloody people. I just needed a bit of a getaway. Well, tough. You don't get one. You had a fucking baby. You knew it was coming. You know how they're made. So get over it. Jesus. Anyway, sorry. just a personal problem. I fucking hate these people who have children and just can't accept the fact that they're parents now. It's like, tough. You know, this is what happens. This is what you're gonna do. Big fucking man baby right here. Get over yourself. Anywho, sorry, sniffing. He nods. An evening without the baby, I mean. So you gotta help me. Refuse. It's out of the question. You're not going to lie to your wife. Tell her the truth. It will be better for everyone. He looks up and sighs. He looks like an angry child. Exactly. You suck. I've known other drivers that are much nicer. His head wobbles and he looks like he's about to fall asleep. You're kidnapped by ISIS and had to single-handedly reclaim Afghanistan from them. It's as good a shot as anything. Say nothing. I'm not going to give him a lecture. He doesn't deserve it. Just let him stew. You prefer to say nothing. Behind you, your passenger groans. You are really... His eyes start to flutter. He doesn't finish his sentence. Good. We're the one with the accelerator pedal and the brake. Just slam them on. He's not wearing a seatbelt, clearly. Gonna bang his head on the chair. Be hilarious. His head slowly slides towards the door and hits the window. The rest of the ride is punctuated by your passenger's snores. Good enough. You finally pull up in front of his building. You shake his leg. We're here. He wakes with a start. Asshole. Jesus. You sigh. He hands you his wallet and falls back on the street. You take the wallet. No. Take the fare. You put the wallet back in his coat pocket and help him get out of the car. You stagger with your passenger up to the front entrance of his building. Pulls out his keys, opens the door, and puts his hand up. I'll take it from here. Thanks, man. Disappears in the lobby just before the door closes. You hear him trip. You get back in your car and drive off. That'll do. See, he gave a better tip than the guy who was like, here's an amazing tip. I don't know. Ooh. Interesting looking characters here. Ooh. Excuse me. Curious as to... I know it's a little bit further, but I'm curious as to why this one is so much brighter than all the others. It looks almost like these ones have been greyed out and this one is brighter. I'm going to go to this one, see what's happening. Jesus. 2:30 already. 0.2 kilometers, the fare is going to be less than €1. Oh, God. Is this the woman who wrote about rivers or underground tunnels or something like that? Alicia Clefs. Sure. Well, we're here now anyway. The next passenger immediately raises her hand. Drive. I don't care where. I just need you to drive. Yes, okay. That's not how this works. Okay. Start driving. You turn the key in the ignition. Yes, there. Good. Keep going this way. Her deep, full voice makes you slightly uncomfortable. With closed eyes, she seems like she's in a place far from the back seat of your taxi. When she starts speaking, there's an odd whistle in her voice, like she has a hole in one of her teeth. Slow down. Frail or fragile? A bit surprised, you look back at her in the mirror. Answer me, frail or fragile? Oh, God. I'm not sure. Don't think about it. Just say the first one that comes to mind. Well, frail. It was first. Frail or fragile? Fraggle. Fraggle. We're chicken Fraggle. You know then. Yes, you know. You must. She giggles. Both words actually have the same root. A smile spread across her face. 2 words, 2 units. And life went on, and words mixed once again. She pauses. You lost me there. She doesn't hear your answer because she starts to scream. Oh, Jesus. Go down this street and stop. You speed up in the quiet street. The cold weather has driven away all the passers-by. Yes, there. There, yes, good. I've got it. She cries out with joy and it resonates in the cab. I've got it. Look, the words are right there. They're wandering past us like sheep, like... She explodes with laughter. Didn't she do this last time in basically the same way? What words? She immediately stops laughing. She silences you with a wave of her hand. Now I must write. Dog's a hell of a drug. She closes her eyes. Her fingers stroke imaginary upholstery. The frail are forced into battle. Together come the children, a son and a daughter, standing tall to salute. They will cry. Oh yes, they will cry. The eaglets fly behind. The frail will say... Your passenger freezes. When she opens her eyes again, she stares at you. What happens when you sleep? She's waiting for your answer. I... Sleep? Well, yes, we do sleep. I dream. She tilts her head to the side just a bit. No, that's a lie and you know it. And what happens when you drive? I make a living. Exactly. You give your time to others. She laughs strangely, almost a snicker, as her eyelids droop. And the son will say, Frail father, I want you to come back to life. And the daughter will say, Frail father, I want you to come back a winner. Okay. The whistle in her voice grates on your ears. The father responds, You must choose. As the eaglet lands upon his shoulder. Together they fly off, and thus all began. Fragile, frail, two paths that can't be fooled. The son and daughter will grow up, though not at the same pace. When early one morning, 20 years later, they wake up. They wake to the sound of a bugle. Jesus Christ. The sound will be beaten, churned and clubbed. Until he wakes from... Oh, the sun. Sorry, not the sound. I was thinking of bugle still. Till he wakes from a 1,000-year dream. A dream without sails, in which the daughter and son fish... Alcedinidae. Alcedinidae? Alcedinidae. I have no idea what that is. Hang on. It might explain it, but I want to look it up now. I'm being patient. Such an educational game. Alcedinidae. Kingfishers. There we go. Kingfishers. Interesting. May they learn to live again without their father. Frail and fragile. Frail is fragile. She catches her breath. 11 years. I've been writing this poem for 11 years. Good job. You get the impression she didn't even hear you. For 11 years I've been trying to finish the text. It's filled with so much... It's infused with my entire life. She had this on the last one. So does she just have like a book of poems she started like 10 years ago or some more? And she's now just coming back in sequence to complete them, you know? His lungs are swollen with my tears. Ew. Her breathing is now quite irregular. And it was all waiting right here, in this street, right in front of me. She giggles. Thank you. She sighs and places a few bills in front of you, far more than the fare. Stop here and... You pull the cab over. Keep everything. I have nothing more. She gets out the taxi without a beep. Why would we make her wait? Sure. Administering adrenaline pulp fiction. So, yeah. It seems to you that it's only an impression, but it looks like she's getting smaller and smaller with each step. Darkness swallows her and you sit there, a bit shaken by her poem. Ready? You pick up the money, something falls at your feet. You grab onto a small, shiny white seashell with your finger.
Listen!
Ah. Oh. Thank you, Diddy. Appreciate the jump scare. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Having a good day? You look at it for a second without saying a word. 11 years. The idea makes its way into your brain. You take a minute and drive off. Congrats on your redeem, and thank you for the hydrate. One second. Thank you very much. I'm awake, I think. I see. It's one of those types of mornings. I love this. Much more than the fair. Jesus. She gave us a €25. Sorry, still a dream. Yeah. Or a nightmare. Santa. Have we had Santa before? Or do we go home? Oh, let's go to Santa. I wonder if it's just going to, like, eject us into life. Horde of cop cars is heading down the street. No one notices you. You sigh. Sure, let's just... Champs-Élysées, I think. Yeah. I never realised it was... Champs, basically. Champs-Élysées. I had no idea how to spell it, of course. I've never needed to spell it. But I've never read it either, apparently. Champs-Élysées. I know what that is. Yeah, damn straight we're taking 11.51 off of Santa. The next passenger smells like beer. Beer Santa. No, it's even worse. It's like every single fibre of this Santa suit has been soaking in a keg. Lovely. Come on, dash away. His breath is 96% brandy. Damn straight. Your eyes are starting to sting. I'm parked somewhere near the Champs-Élysées. Oh, shit. The name of the street is... His head is spinning and he does his best to hang on to the door. Impasse... It'll come back to me. Go ahead, drive. You start driving and silently wonder how to ask your passenger if he has enough money to cover fare. Glance back at your passenger. He's mumbling to himself, but you can't quite make out what he's saying. Christmas is over, so why is he still dressed up?
I protest. I am not a merry man.
Okay. Thank you, Dee Dee. I'm sorry to hear you are not very merry. He seems way too merry. If Christmas has already happened, what's the suit for? You having a... What's the suit for? Yeah, why? He turns to look at you, wide-eyed. Suit? Well, yeah, the Santa suit. Silence. More silence. Is he so drunk he doesn't realise he's still wearing a costume? There is no costume, kid. This is what I wear to work, just like you know? He points at his clothes. You don't dress like that in real life, do you? He stares at you and bursts out laughing. I'm messing with you, kid. He lowers his voice. He's confiding in you. After working my ass off all year long, I like to hit my favourite pubs. I get monumentally wasted, apparently. He guffaws. Here, in Paris, there's a bunch of bistro perfect for just such an occasion. No one talks to you and they have white wines so dry it eats away at the inside of your mouth. And so many different types of brandy. Pear brandy, cognac. He closes his eyes in delight. I've never had pear brandy. I'm a magistrate, you see. And sometimes I just order one eeny weeny beer to cleanse the palate. He's almost whispering. Okay, it's usually not one of them fancy microbrews there. He jumps. Oops. Don't tell anyone, okay? Just imagine if people found out Santa Claus thought the beer here tasted like piss. He laughs a sparkling laugh. When he stops, it's just to throw out non-committally. Anyway, you can't say anything anymore. Honestly, with all the trouble I go to, people should just leave me the fuck alone. All these fair weather activists, they still want their little snot-nosed miracles to get the latest stupid toy, I see. Oh hey, speaking of snot-nosed kids, what is it with this manure pile of a new generation? 50 years back, you could give a kid a book and he'd go on about his whole life, all starry-eyed. But today's little whiners, what an eyesore. Fucking hell. They want to have it all, but they don't like anything. They all have GSMs when they are 8. GSMs? Don't know what GSMs are. Those things cost a whole month's wages. How could you possibly make them happy after that? How? He's staring at you, waiting for you to answer. Wooden toys? GBA? I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's like a... Yeah, so maybe it's like a play on that. I see. So just like a games console or some description. Trip? No idea. He raises his hand. At least you're honest enough to say you don't know, and I appreciate your honesty. He closes his eyes like he's taking a moment stressed. I want me to tell you what they really want. Oh no. Kids these days want a machine gun and dolls whose hair you can fix. He seems to have calmed down for a second, but it was just an illusion. Speaking of which, both girls and boys like those dolls whose hair you can fix. He twitches his moustache in silence. Back when I still made toys for kids, I can tell you they couldn't care less about them. Couldn't give a damn. Curses. They just wanted to have fun, play, laugh, and forget their parents were losers. He leans over to you, rife with anger. Fuck, that's the real problem, I'm telling you. Parents are losers, idiots. Putting kids into this world, those guys haven't got a clue. Am I right? Or am I right? Exactly, like the last guy who was just like, oh, I want a day off. I mean, have you seen the state of the ice cap these days? No. Have you? Huh? Because there's not much of it left. He pauses. Now, I can't say it's all bad. I don't have many polar bears coming into my yard. Damn nasty beasts. Vicious. Mean. I'm not sad to be rid of them. Antidepressants for X-Men. Sounds like he's got plenty of... well, yeah, probably the alcohol won't be helping, but it sounds like he's self-medicating just enough. Not sad to be rid of them. He heaves a long sigh through his beard. Before, things were different. Tears form in the corner of his eyes. Shit. I can't talk about the past without crying like a little girl. Throws you a sideways glance. No need to stare. Don't even have time to react, and he starts back into his rant. I remember you, you know. To tell the truth, I remember everyone. Every single person. You were an angry one. So terribly angry. And your letters, your handwriting, holy fuck, what the hell were they hell to decipher? Don't worry, though. The elves handle all that for me. You could hear a hint of disgust in his voice when he brought up the elves. Immigrants any second. It's the elves. There you go. You're close. Otherwise, I wouldn't have time to do nothing. Yeah, you were just furious. It's like someone punched you in the stomach. Your brother was giving you hell. Someone wrenching your gut. Man, what a... He suddenly thinks of something and stops talking. His gaze wanders outside. Yeah, anyway. Let's talk about something else. How do you know all that? You still don't get who I am? You stare at him in the rearview mirror. Look, kid, I'm not going to spell it out for you. And something tells you you'd rather avoid the subject. A little something called jail. Another punch to the stomach. So there's your Christmas present. We're not gonna talk about it. He smiles, opens his eyes wide. Wait, I think we're almost there. Slow it down a bit, kid. He searches outside for... What are you looking for? Looking for my sleigh, kid. What else? He looks at you with pity. It shouldn't be hard to spot. There's a sleigh and a couple of half-dozen reindeer. He heaves a funny sigh. I'm sure it's like an alleyway somewhere. Oh, right over there. Turn right. You obey and go up a street where you up a street you were on a few seconds before. A few meters down, your passenger stifles a yelp. Oh shit! It's right there. Drive around the block. You turn again. In back, your passenger is mumbling. Gonna have to get one of those thingamajigs, GPSs, that'd help me find my sleigh more easily. Hello, are you alive now? Oh, now that's a question for the ages. Sorry, I've been missing chat. Sorry. Merry Eukipmus. Interesting. Oh, yes, yeah. This Bear Sediment. Farage is running for king. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But anyway, Azimuth, hello, welcome. Yes, I am live. I can't tell if it's a playback or live. All right. I see. No. Tis me. Hello. I shouldn't bring it up on the stream. no, it's fine. Sorry, I broke flues lately, but yes, no, oh god, yeah, he told everybody he's not doing anything, and then now he is, because of course you literally can't trust a single word he says. So bonus. It won't come to anything. You know, he's nowhere near as popular as he either thinks he is or used to be. Everyone's looking for the, you know, if you want the basics on English politics right now, in a month's time we're going to have a Labour government by a landslide, seemingly, and everyone else is going to be picking up the odds and ends here and there. Remain or UKIP or whoever it was and is and who he's with, they're not going to be doing anything super special. He'll get really nothing out of it, but people will still talk about him because he's a twat, and for some reason that makes the news. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I can't see it being different at this stage. I really can't. There's not a single person you speak to who is willing to support the Tories. Even people who are outwardly Tory voters are just saying, look, I used to, but what the hell do we do now, you know? Farage, yes, yeah, Nigel Farage, yeah. Yeah. It's, again, you know, he's just out being an idiot and getting all the publicity he can. It's not really going to amount to much. So, how did I guess? Yeah, exactly. How are you? Oh, yes, sorry, I'm fine. Yes, yeah. Good, thanks. Yeah, we're plodding along here. Apparently chatting to Santa. I thought it was someone dressed as Santa, but no, apparently it's actually Santa. Should my faith in humanity a bit. Oh, God, yeah. No, wait till he gets elected again. That's going to be the real problem. Getting in the first time was a joke. Getting in the second time, that's an insult. That's, but, I can't, I don't know, I just, actually Santa kids these days, I know, he's hilarious. But, yeah, my prediction, he will get in because the only opposition is Biden and people are getting bored of him. Because for some reason, I cannot fathom, people are willing to put up with the kind of people who ruin things so much more than the people who are trying to fix it. Exactly. You tell someone, look, this person is actively being, evil. They're damaging things as it is. And someone will go, all right, fine. We'll give the other guy a chance. And they'll give them one term. And they'll go, you didn't fix 20 years of problems in one term. So we're going back to the other guy who we know fucks it up. But, you know, we just don't like you enough. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't know why there seems to be this standard political leaning of right-wing / conservatism when you're like, you know these people don't like you. You know they're not out to help you. It's how many years, how many generations of jokes do we have to have about how greedy and self-serving politicians are, how much you can't trust a single word they say. How many do we have to go through before people start thinking, well, maybe we should start voting for the other guy more often, you know, just give them a bit more of a chance. But for some reason, there seems to be this standard of politicians are right-wing until we give the left-wing a bit of a chance. And it's this constant sort of like fight to get just even a bit of an issue with left-wingers in there. Just like, I don't understand it. I don't know why we can't all be left-leaning and the right-wing have the occasional turn. Why is it always right-wing is the baseline, and then it's just like we'll give left-wing a go occasionally and just see if they can't fix it. And then usually things do get fixed, but not enough. And then they'll come back to right-wing because, you know, they believe all hype. Usually because right-wing are normally quite evil and manipulative, and people believe it for some reason. Instead of the left wing who stand there and go, what are you talking about? We're trying to be reasonable here. And it just never seemed to work out. I don't get it. You know, I mean, ultimately, vote for who you want, who you believe is best for you and your country. Fine. That's the whole point of it. But I just don't understand some people's reasoning when you say, the person you're voting for is a self-accredited criminal, and they're like, yeah, but you know, it's him or the other guy, and you're like, the other guy's not a criminal. Is that too hard to work out? I don't get it. And then you get these people who go, oh, but they're not really good politicians. You know, I want to go with the other guy who's, you know, you've got one guy in a suit who, you know, he'll stab you in the back while, you know, more smiling you in the face, and they'll say, oh yeah, but he's a politician. And then you'll go with the other guy, and they're like, oh, but look at him. What does he know about politics? Well, he may not know much about politics, but as we've ascertained, politics doesn't help run the country anyway, so I don't understand why that is such a factor. Outrage politics get people upset about woke or something, and they'll say, bless, you're blind with rage, they'll do whatever you say. Exactly, that's it. It's all distraction. And the problem is, you get people of any age just can't seem to see this sometimes. I don't understand why. It's like critical thinking skills have just fallen through the floor, if they ever had them. I don't know. But anyway, that's politics. Ultimately, you know, it's shit. All politicians are pretty crap. Just, I'd say, vote for the ones you think is best for you, and you know, we'll go from there. It's no secret here, you know, that I'm pretty, you know, left leaning generally, but so I think I'm looking forward to a change in government. I believe that's what's going to happen just based on the numbers. I don't think there's anybody who thinks it's a close race anymore. So that's, you know, fine. We'll see what happens. Do I think they're going to fix everything? No. I think still we're going to have problems. And, of course, they can't either, because the way our political system is, the ones who in charge still have to run everything by the people who aren't in charge. So, you know, it's not like they're suddenly get in and all the laws are going to change or anything like that, you know. But, well, you know, some of the other crap may not turn up, so that could be a bonus. And we'll see what happens. Everybody, I've just been stressing about it. No, that's fair. It's all right. No, you're right. It's I understand. Really, it's fine. Yeah, so I mean, I generally like most people, I generally avoid the topic of politics just because it is so divisive, but it's not necessarily that it can't be spoken about. We can have, you know, a civilized conversation about it, but the problem is, most of my reasoning, personally, drops down to politicians equals bad. Why can't we just have decent people become politicians? But that's because it's become a game. You know, the job of being a politician requires being the kind of person who you don't want to be in charge. You know, it's a bit like all these bosses of major corporations. They're always arseholes because to get to the top they had to be an arsehole. You know, nice people don't make it that far, you know. So, and it's exactly the same with, you know, with politicians and politics in general. So it's such a so, you know, it whatever side you're on, I don't think you can really win. It's just a matter of getting the little wins, you know, victories where you can find them. But, you know, give it a few months, we'll see what's happening. Anyway, right, sorry, back to Santa. Get some of the... Oh yeah, Thingamajig's GPS. It'll help me find my sleigh more easily. Excuse me. You eventually pull over in an alley. No alley. No light, a few empty office buildings, and some trash cans that haven't been empty for days. Kids. Sorry about... Kid, even. Sorry about before. I didn't mean, you know, to bring up any sore points. He pays his fare. Watch your back, kid. Why did he get... Okay. Gets out and slams the door. He slips into the wet sidewalk, grabs onto a street lamp with a heavy and awkward step. He clumps along the alley. Let's stay for a bit. You sit for a moment, watching him. At the end of the alleyway, he starts rummaging through a pile of boxes, pushes a trash can on wheels aside, and disappears. A few minutes go by, and nothing. You turn the key and start driving again. You open the window for a second, hoping to get rid of the alcohol fumes. Something tells you they'll stick around for a while. No idea, maybe. That's it. $12. Jesus, it really isn't easy to make money as a taxi driver. You only get like 6 jobs a night, and they pay you like, you know, tiny fares. Well, we're out of time, so we've got to... Oh, it automatically did it anyway. We've got to head home. You know more about your clients. Wait, Julie? It saved that? Wait, hang on. You met with Gina. Oh my god, I've worked it out. Okay, hang on. While this is ticking by. What happened? Right, if you weren't here earlier, it crashed. In the middle, like... I had a journey with someone, and I clicked the... What a profitable evening. Yeah, I know. See, we doubt. So we had to make at least 124, we'll say, just to break even, and we only got 64. It's a really tough gig trying to actually get anything out of it. Right. So what happened was, we had 2 fairs at the beginning of the day or night. Sorry, beginning of the night shift, but on the second one, it wouldn't let me collect the fare. It just like crashed, basically. I could open the menu and stuff, but it wouldn't work. So I couldn't progress. So I had to quit to the menu, and I came back into the game. And it started out as if I had just woken up. So I thought it had reset the night. But it hadn't reset the night because things were different. And that's why things were different, because it had saved those first 2 journeys we had. But it had just started us as if we'd just started the night again. So that first instance, we saw a thing there when it was talking about one of the journeys we had previously, and I was like, well, it didn't save that. How could it save that? But it must have done. So it auto saves the journey at any time. So that means I don't have to go to the end of every night. I always thought it auto saves at the beginning of the new night, but it doesn't. It just seems to auto save at the end of every journey, but when you restart, it acts as if you just started. Okay. That makes some sense, sort of. Take a few minutes to update your board with your new clues. We could have found Santa's sleigh. Well, he seemed to disappear, didn't he? This game is totally broken. In my favour. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know what... But that took me so long to work out. It was crazy. Okay. Take off shoes before getting to work. I'm just scrolling through that crap. Right, so the only person we spoke to today was Hervé. Hervé, whatever his name is. And he's the only one we have ruled out. He is not a suspect anymore, yet he gave us more info. Hang on, did we pick up anything down here? No files down here. Okay. What did he tell us? Something about... the killer wearing black gloves because he saw his profile. So again, I mean, look, this ties to all 4 of them, so that isn't really helpful at all. But he said he hunched over like an old man. Or hunched over in some way, so that made me think old man. Yeah. So we keep getting all these, like these ones here. I don't know how... Are these irrelevant or are they defunct? Because, I mean, things like... Where are we? Killer fought with victim 3. No sign of violence. Well, that's contradicting. Contradictory, even. Victim 3, there was no sign of violence, yet the killer fought with them. How is that helpful? Victim 2, killed in only spot with CCTV. How do I get that to turn into a clue of any kind? It's like down here we've had the killer's height is greater than 1.80 m. That the source there was a cop. But the killer's height, the autopsy report says killer's height is less than 180, which means it could be all of them. So again, these must be irrelevant clues. Stuff that means nothing. Because we can't fix it anyway. It's not applicable. Did it come with a physical media? It could do with a nice manual. Yeah. Come with its own chalkboard and string. Chalkboard? Corkboard, I mean. You know what I mean. Interesting. Okay, we'll end the night. I'm going to go a bit longer, because it's still too early. The phone rings, you impulsively take a step back. The moment of truth. Pick it up. Oh, wait. Do we have to, like, tell her now who we think it is? I don't know who it is. Ice cold. So? She heaves a long sigh. There's no background noise. She must not be at the station. Wait. Where are you? For a second you think she's going to tell you, but then... Somewhere. None of your business. A light clinking noise. The sound of a teacup on a coaster, maybe. I'm listening. What have you got for me? She clears her throat. Her voice sounds louder, more confident. You glance at the wall. The suspects are all lined up. All the evidence, a whole mess of your ideas. Your stomach is in a knot. I don't have to remind you, you cannot get this wrong. I have a meeting in 2 hours with the district attorney and the chief of police. Even the Minister of the Interior will be in a corner of the room somewhere. Obviously, I'm thrilled. Oh, but I certainly don't want to put too much pressure on you. You can almost hear the smirk she must be wearing. You lay the receiver down on the table. Now you have to decide. Oh, good. Okay. Now we have to decide. Who is the killer? Oh my god. How are we meant to turn this into anything useful? So oh my god. Right, okay. Black gloves, again, all of them. Height, all of them. Claudia is connected to one aspect of this. First 3 victims' files not part of the police league. First 3 victims. Police source of police archives. Okay. Oh yeah, and if we can turn stuff off, can't we? To stop it being so confusing. Okay. So weapon kept in perfect shape by a professional. So surely, since that links 2 of them, surely that crosses off these 2. So it has to be narrowed down to these. Because if the weapon can only be applied to them, this person had a police gun. It was a rare gun used in the 70s, and that ties it to them. It was a police gun. They were police. This is irrelevant. Message on crime scene 1, justice. Wrinkles on their hands. Again. Could be her, but it could be him. Molester, never away. Hang on. What's this from? From Marco, close to victim 1. Victim 1 equals a molester, never arrested. Right. And that's why, again, it comes back to potentially this guy here. Because it's like, never saw justice coming. Interesting. It highlights these 2 over here. The stolen wallet. Homeless man seen around crime scene 2 and 3. Why does that get highlighted when I come to him? Message at crime scene 2. You deserve this. What I find confusing is the fact that I don't have... Maybe we did. I apologise if I'm completely forgetting. Polo. We don't have specific information on the victims of the different crimes. We just have the information about the crime scene, which we picked up from various sources. See, I think this is relatively circumstantial. I mean, just because he's a defender of several kids in poor neighbourhood, was a promising football player when he was 10. Victim 1 was a molester who was never arrested, so it's like, you hurt kids, so I hurt you kind of thing. Crime scene was just... Tying him to the case seems very feeble. in that regard. So I don't think it's him. Now, what's hers? Crime Scene 3, time's up. Message on Crime Scene 3, linked to the process. Right, the process was a situation in which her family was killed. Yeah, colonel of the junta. So victim 3 was the colonel. Parents died during the junta, but so did a lot of people. Victim 3, known to have tortured prisoners. Yep, so that makes him worth killing. Crime Scene linked to the process. Again, could be a red herring. Can we say this is like, you know, they all did it? Are we sure it's the same person? And again, wrinkles on their hands. Well, why would she have... Why? I think I remember saying this at the time. Why have they specified wrinkles? Could it be because they could be gloves? Or are they implying she's old? I didn't think she was that old. If we cross her off, that leaves us with these two. And these two specifically for me are narrowed down by... this weapon. It's like, well, it can only really be them. If that's the known weapon from gun shop owner, weapon equals kept in perfect shape. Okay, I'm going to guess that could be a bit circumstantial. Message from Crime Scene 2, you deserve this. So, I mean, it's weird because this kind of suggests that they... Why would he put a thing on Crime Scene 2? Again, I don't know what Crime 2 was. What's his tie to the other crew, the other victims? Spent bullet case, killer fought with victim 1. Is the police report. But hey, hang on. They were wearing black gloves. They had wrinkles on their hands. So black wrinkly gloves? Used to be in a charge of being rude towards. Yeah. How does that work? His testimony is that he saw black gloves, but then we saw their gloves. That wanted to seem weird here. Are we sure he just didn't see a wrinkly man in the dark? Bearing in mind this is supposed to be like a basic run-of-the-mill thing, so we're not supposed to be getting too difficult a puzzle here. So the logic should be there. Yeah, so the autopsy reports are... So that's more reliable. So it's a rare gun from the 70s. And a professional said it's in good shape. The gun shop owner said it was a police gun in the 70s, which is where he comes into this. I'm thinking it's him. That's all I can think, because it just kind of fits that we've got the justice system situation where he's trying to essentially wreak revenge. He's got the weapon. He's got the weapon, he's got the motive, potentially. The only really distinguishing features we've seen, as far as I can tell, are, well, we have the height, which he works, Jakku, yeah, and the, you know, supposed gloves, which again, like I said, could just be like wrinkly hands. Because we've already got these things here, had wrinkles on their hands, and he was wearing gloves. Maybe they weren't gloves. Maybe just dark hands. Although you think you could probably tell the difference if you're close enough to tell their wrinkles, but whatever. Oh, but then again, no, he's not saying they were wrinkly. He was just saying they were black gloves. Again, so again, in the dark, maybe they're just dark hands, and they were wrinkly, so there's no gloves on. Seen in a dream, Keller had wrinkles on the... Oh, that's us, because of course we were up close. So a little less reliable, I guess. I'm going to go with him. Let's just... We'll call it there. I'm going to say him, and worst case scenario is we get it wrong, and we, sent a retired cop to jail. But I think all the reasoning is kind of there. There's the occasional sort of, him, definitely not him. I really don't think it's him. Her, I think she's capable, but I just don't think there's enough to throw her in for the rest of the cases. She seems so tied to one victim that seems like, well, what's the rest of them all about? We know it's not him. This guy his dad died to health issues, health scandal, gay relationship, never disclosed information at work. Again, it seems almost like there's nothing here to really link him to why, except he's an ex-policeman. No, his dad was a policeman, sorry. Hang on, he's a cop. So he's a cop in Paris and his dad was a cop as well. So again, there's sort of like that justice sort of situation, but I don't know. I'm going to go with him. Let's go. So trials are for. Keep accusing people until one is found guilty. Exactly, yes. All right, we'll go with him. Accuse. Pick the phone back up and explain your choice to Lieutenant Bissett. Why, how, the evidence, your sources. She listens without saying a word. You stop talking and catch your breath. Okay. I'll buy it. Seems like a solid choice. I can fish around a bit to vet your information. She pauses. You can almost hear her nodding. I'll call you tonight. Try to get some sleep. She pauses. No way she's going to hang up on such a positive note. No, she's probably going to... It might be your last night of freedom. She snickers and hangs up. You put the phone down. You might as well be standing in the ice-cold emptiness of outer space. You decide to go to bed, to sleep. Best way to kill time. What is it? This woman, Jesus. I'm the policewoman, but I'm going to get you to do all the dirty work and make you fall for it if it works out wrong. She Toblerones and hangs up. With a heavy hand, you wipe your tired face. You slide onto the open sofa bed. The events of the day run through your head. The streets, the passengers, their faces, their problems. Been through this. Da-da-da-da-da. You open one eye. You had a hard night, restless. It's technically day because we work nights, but whatever. You get the impression you aged 5 years in a matter of hours. You get up quickly. And a few minutes later, you're outside of your studio. Are we not waiting for the phone? Okay. So we just keep going? Or maybe she's going to get in the back. You've barely gone downstairs when you catch sight of Bissett. Yeah, there we are. She's leaning up against the door of your cab, eyes wide open, forehead creased. Get in. You obey. It's too early to react. She settles in the backseat, flashes a smile. Good news, you're right. Or at least the DA thinks your evidence is sufficient. Okay. No emotion in her voice. She's giving you the facts. Nothing more. We're going to bring Fragonard? She better pay well. It seems like the only payment is freedom. Going to bring Fragonard in tonight. She nods. Her expression clouds over. I have trouble. She freezes. Fragonard is a mentor. Mine. And half the squad's. You can't understand. He's an institution. She stops, clears her throat. I need your help one last time. Later on tonight, we're going to get Fragonard to leave home and find a way to get him into your taxi. She pulls some kind of pen out of her pocket that she puts in the little cubby just above the car stereo. This is a bug. No, it's not. It's a pen. Don't try gaslighting me, woman. Need a confession? There's no point really questioning it. She's going to do all the shit anyway. If you feel like it, if you think you can manage. I've seen you and heard you enough to know that you have a trick, a gift for getting people to talk. Seemingly, yes. It's called being the player character. I need someone I can trust to get close to Fragonard without making him suspicious. He's a cop. He knows how we work. No one's ever sent a taxi driver to make an arrest. He won't put up a fight. I hope he'll open up to you, that he'll confess before things fall apart. Not too far from the hospital, where he goes for his treatments, there's an alleyway under construction. There won't be any civilians, just us and him. She sighs. 2 teens walk by the cab, and the intense smell of weed fills the cab. Lucette doesn't budge. I know you can do it. If you stick to the plan, nothing can go wrong. Say nothing. She looks you over intently and pinches her lips. She gives you a typical smile, like an owner admiring her dog performing a perfect trick. I'm off. I know I can smell you from here. She lays her hands on the door handle. You pick the suspect up, drive to the meeting point, and you're free. Easy as pie. She's free for what? She's not going to arrest us. She keeps talking like we're going to go to jail. She has nothing on us except enough to maybe help us lose our job. That's it. Because we didn't... the only thing she holds over us, really, is that we spent some time in jail, and we didn't disclose this to our employer. That's it. She can make us lose our job. She can't arrest us, for not being good enough police people. We're not the police. Anyway, she gets out of the cab, slams the door, and walks quickly away. Shit. You hit the dashboard. Intense pain spreads through your hand. You grab the keys in the ignition and turn. The motor comes on. Your night is about to begin. Your last night. Okay. We got this. I always think I can move the map like a second before it's available to move, and I don't know why it takes so long to start. Just get things going. We can go talk to Hervé, apparently. Why not? Oh, wait. Or do we go to... Go to man. Milo. Oh, God. Milo Reacher. Oh, do we go to... Sure, let's get some kind of continuity going. You recognise the passenger getting into your cab. An American guy who works for the CIA, yes. He settles into the backseat, his clothes reek of alcohol. Again, you recognise the deep, mild voice, a slight American accent. The stories too. He's a funny guy, this one, both reassuring and disturbing. He gives you an address with a heavy sigh, you start a cab. Looks like I've made a mess of things again. Oh no. Milo, what have you done? He slumps back in the seat a little, as if he'd been knocked on the head. I've been overdoing it a little lately. Doctor tells me I need to lay off the booze or I won't make it through the year. Jesus. His head flutters nervously in the air. His hand, sorry. Head. I was speaking Spanish all day. I've got a splitting headache. My buddy from Cuba and me, we were at this meeting. It went on forever. Cuban friend? Oh right, I forgot. You thought we were we weren't friends anymore. Did we? I forgot that bit. Not at all, amigo. The opposite, in fact. Never been such great pals. He gives a strange sigh, a faraway look on his eyes. We should have kept Cuba. Kept Cuba? Yeah, like 100 years ago. It belonged to the good old US of A. Didn't you know? I mean, it wasn't exactly ours, but it was sort of ours. You know what I mean? You give a nod. We helped them gain independence, gave them a lot of help, in fact, military, boats. Those were the good old days. How old are you, mate? His sudden bellow of laughter gives you quite a start. I bet you don't even know all the American mafioso moved to there. Mafiosi, even. Yeah, the Italians, know what I mean? Like in the movies. Don Corleone and all that. Cosa Nostra had casinos there in the 50s. You know, you could go for a weekend, fat wads of cash, changing hands and all. The 1940s, boy, they sure were good old days. The entire decade was. What do you know? How old are you? How old are you? I'm not talking from personal experience, of course. Now, don't get me wrong. I wasn't even born back then. Good. Gives you a little wink. When I first joined the company, the old-timers, that's all they ever talked about. The good old days. The suits, the big cars. How they get back to Miami on Monday mornings, go straight into the office. I missed out on all of that. His eyes are half closed, his voice thick with emotion. But today, that's a thing of the past now. Today we make plans and presentations. We produce statistics and spreadsheets. He's staring at you intently. We take turns. My turn one day, yours the next. It's not the same anymore. You have to change with the times. Or retire and blow all your savings on booze. I'm a government facilitator. You're in marketing? In some ways, yes. I help people make the right choices by getting rid of the competition. Believe me, and this is coming from an American, nobody likes competition. Competition is just a way of getting people all worked up. Keeps them busy. Control is what it really is all about. He taps you on the shoulder. Last stop, amigo. You pull over. The street is dark and lifeless, perfectly quiet. You see that little side street over there? You nod yes. The best bar in Paris is on it. It's run by Venezuelans. The owner, he could have been finance minister, you know. But instead, he runs the best joint in town. And all because the CIA prefers meetings and spreadsheets. Tough luck for the Venezuelans. And so much better the better for me. His roar of laughter nearly pierces your eardrum. He gets out of the cab and shakes your hand, handing you the fare and then some. Your eye follows his bulky form as it crosses the streets and turns into the dark alleyway. There's a portal to Santa's workshop behind the dumpster. Yeah! You sit there a minute, somewhat confused. He's a strange one. Not all that unpleasant really, and yet utterly vile. You start up the cab. Again, the tiny fare. Here he is. That was our last job before the end. Paul-Marie Fragonard. Saint Louis, please. Hôpital. Accept. Hello, kitty. What's the matter? Your next passenger is your suspect, the retired policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hôpital Saint Louis, please. San, please, is what I was going to say. You nod your head and start the engine. Your passenger seems to have his mind elsewhere, not entirely awake, stubble on his chin. You scan his skin, his movements, his attitude, his... It's cold as shit this morning. His voice makes you jump. You nod. Yep. Thank you. You have more people or not as many when it's cold out like this? Folks tend to stay home when it's too cold. There might be more of them, but they make shorter trips. Makes sense. Dead silence. Talk about the weather. It's worse in summertime, though. People don't take cabs as much. But when they do, they go further. Obviously. Drive in silence for a second. The road goes by. You don't want to look in your side mirrors too often. You haven't seen a trace of the cops yet. Reset told you not to worry, but... You know, it's funny. Just this morning, I was thinking about an old case. One of my first cases, actually. It was just after the Mesrine case? Talk about crimes we never got caught for. You know, you go first. You know who Mesrine is, don't you? Or am I really that old? Mesrine? I assume I'm pronouncing that vaguely similar. You sense it's the right time to get him to talk. Rings a bell. Jacques Mesrine. Breaking and entering, kidnapping, armed robbery. He killed 2 cops in Canada, tortured a journalist. A far-right one, but still. Then, in 79, after being on the run for a year and a half, the cops catch him and kill him. At Port de Clignancourt. Clignancourt? Something like that? Jesus. He raises a hand. Now, the cops say it was in self-defense, but I know for a fact they shut him down like a dog. Dog. He looks straight at you. You can see the hint of an underground fire roaring deep in his eyes. Now, I most certainly do not want to die like a dog, understood? He catches his breath and is clearly shaken. He ever so slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out his weapon. Where did Busette ask you to take me? We just got a... Le Judge. We discovered the judge's identity. That was our achievement right there. This is going well, yes. Excuse me? Don't take me for a fool. Oh god, do we push it? I mean, yeah, that's the whole point of a bluff, isn't it? You don't give up so quickly. But I'm concerned gameplay-wise, we're just going to end up forcing ourselves into death. Because he's going to be like, don't lie to me, bang, you know. I don't take you a fool, I take you to the hospital or whatever. Yeah. Keep lying, once more. I swear I have no idea what you're talking about. A gun appears. Shame. I thought I might just get a chance at some honesty in this cold world, just once, just to see what it feels like. I dedicated my whole life to the justice system, to getting to the truth, at least that's what I tell myself, and what I say to new recruits. But I'm tired of all the games, all the fucking lies. Where'd they order you to take me? Now, when it says lie, is this about lying about our knowledge or lie about the place? Because we could tell him one place and then end up pulling up where we actually need to be, obviously, you know. But then, no matter where we say, he's not going to automatically... Okay, we'll just tell him the truth. A warehouse, some old garage, they're waiting for us there. An ambush. I'm no Mesrine, you know. I'm not going to pull a grenade out from under the back seat here. Speaking of McDonald's, they rented out the party room for your brother. Yeah. He cuts off with a groan. When he starts speaking again, his voice is chilling. Busette. You see his fingers on the trigger. It's shaking ever so slightly. How much does she know? We don't actually know, really, but we have, you know, we know what we've told her. We don't actually know what she knows. He's going to shoot himself in the crotch. No! The stench of gunpowder fills the cab. Your vision is blurred for a while. You can feel can't feel your legs anymore. A shock of heat is streaming down your spine. Oh, did we die? Taxi slows and ends up running into a car parked alongside the road. The impact sets an alarm off. It's like shower the street with red and yellow. I'm sorry. Sorry it turned out like this. You deserve better, you know. You're so focused on helping others that you've got to take care of yourself. You want to speak, but no sound comes out. I read your file, you know. What you did for your sister-in-law. Taking 7 years in jail for her. What? He nods his head. You deserve better. Your neck muscles give out and your head collapses. Bits of the outside world make it in. Maybe not in the right order. God damn it. The door closing. The backseat empty. A shape coming over to the cab, screaming, shouting. And just like that, darkness. Bollocks. Did we win? I'm gonna hazard a guess at no. No, we we certainly did not. Thank you for the hydrate. The question marks made me think, well, we don't actually know how much she knows, but we know what we've told her. That may not be all she knows. What's the load? 6 hours 40 was oh my god. At night 6, this was 30 and 11? This was 33 minutes ago. The last time it saved, apparently. Do we want to give it another quick run through? See if we can save the day? I feel like we should. I feel like there should be like a really simple like replay of that last bit. Let's hit continue, see where it takes us. We'll try to spin through things, if we can, in the same order, if that matters. Yeah, wow, this didn't save anything. Big step back, mode of truth, pick it up. Okay, yeah, I'll speed through everything we did before. That's code. Where are you? Oh, yeah. Right. So, since I don't have to deliberate here, no, I don't even have to do this, but crossed all them off. I think it's him. Accuse him, because we know it's him anyway. Got a name. It's him. Go. Okay. See, I can't believe it didn't even save after this bit. Last night of freedom hangs up. Yes. There we go. Go to bed. Okay. Auto mode is too slow. I'm going to keep clicking. Night 7. So I wonder, will it present the same faces? Oh, yeah, because of course we've got to do her bit first. If I can remember the right options. We'll try and get it the same because it worked. There's no point mucking it up as we went. Needed confession. Stick to the plan, nothing can go wrong. What if there's a problem? Understood. Didn't I say nothing here? I think I said nothing. Intently, yep, pinches the lips, yeah. I'm off. Easy as pie, there we go. Okay, so basically what we've learned is that we need to be honest because he knows. So there's no point lying at all, ever. As to how we're going to exactly get there, I don't know. Ah, see, the faces are different this time. Interesting. So it isn't always set. Why would we need to speak to him? We ignored him before because I wanted the American guy. We did that. None of these really have anything, you know, outstanding to remember them by. We know who he is, but he's a prick anyway. So let's go speak to Hervé, however it's pronounced. Hervé. And, because he was there last time, so he is one constant. And we'll see what he actually has to offer us. I like the way it's reset our petrol for us. That's nice. Need a ride, cabby? 38 euros? How is he giving us so much more than everyone else? Okay. Over the door, it's Hervé. He greets you with a bizarre verbal tick as usual. Yeah. Good to see you again, Jen. Yeah, okay. Hi, Hervé. Start the engine. Pretty cold tonight, right? His voice has a peculiar lilt to it. Certain syllables were sung to him to stop him from stuttering. I see. Only cold with his ass. Your ass stuck to that car seat of yours. Nope. Well then, enjoy. I've got a place to stay in Passy. In a way you can give me a lift? Well, we're in the car. But, you know. Great. That way we stay nice and warm. The 15 years I've been on the streets, I've never been this cold, I swear. You know some guys aren't going to make it. Shit. That's how it goes for us. Yes. The pause. His smell is gradually permeating the inside of the cab. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. You'll leave the door open later in the air on to air out the cab. But you know, I'm used to it, even before, sure. Jesus, this annoying bit at the end is... I don't think I ever told you, when I was a kid, I was never cold. I'm going to ignore that bit. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time, my mother dragged me to the Pyrenees during vacation. Didn't know what the hell to do with me. Liked to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke the bottle of gin she'd brought along. Should have seen her. Threw a fit. She gave me a thrashing, but I gave as good as I got. That's how we used to talk back then. She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles were hanging from the eaves. It had snowed the day before. I sat there for an hour, arms crossed, like a cardigan on my back and underpants on my ass. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment. My old lady was yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothing. And well, the cold didn't get me. Nothing. Felt nothing at all. Wish I could say the same today. Well, it got dark out. She let me in. She was furious all week. It was the last time we went on vacation together. After that, she died. Number up. Pause. I used to tell my buddy Seb that story all the time, you know? The tall black guy who used to hang around with me. Yeah. Well, he really loved that story. He asked me to tell it over to him over and over again. Okay. But I think what he really loved was hearing me talk about my old lady. You know what I mean? Doesn't make us any younger, eh? Cab pulls up to the shelter in Passy. Felt the last time I was out there was a protest out front. I was here, there was a protest out front. Jesus, how did I make that up? Bunch of guys from the neighbourhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off, sounded like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thanks, man. I know I can count on you. Good luck. Rubs his hand together and walks towards the shelter. Wait, you promised me money. And now it's a free ride, whatever. It's not like I need it anyway. Okay. See, why doesn't it save here? If I was on my own, I would probably test it to see, like, by exiting to the menu and then coming back in to see if it saves at this point. Whatever. We're going. Next passenger is your suspect. There is a high policeman. Judging by his looks, you could have easily guessed. Hospital. Nod your head and start the engine. Not entirely. Stubble on his chin. Skin his movements. Attitude is cold as shit this morning. Voice makes you jump. Yeah, it's cold. Get loads of people when it's cold. Dead silence. Talk about the weather. Keep going. Obviously. Oh yeah, he starts talking about his old case. Rings a bell. Breaking and entering, kidnapping, armed robbery, killed 2 cops, tortured journalist. Cops say it was self-defense, but now it's a fact they shut him down like a dog. Straight at you. Don't want to die like a dog. Understood. He catches his breath and he's clearly shaking. 30% ask you to take me. Right. Tell the truth. We're just going to go truth all the way here. See what happens. Warehouse. Someone garage. They're waiting for us there. An ambush. Oh no, Mesrine, you know, I'm going to pull a grenade. Not going to pull a grenade out from under the back seat here. Cuts off with a groan. When he starts speaking again, his voice is chilling. You set. You can see his finger on the trigger, shaking even so slightly. How much does she know? She has evidence. You hear a long sigh coming from the back seat. A few seconds go by. You try to concentrate on driving despite your sweaty hands and dripping brow. Okay. What hasn't she tried? Why hasn't she tried to arrest me then? You shrugged. Don't know. She told me it would be easier this way. I think she hopes you'll turn yourself in without a fight. He looks away. You know, Busette is really one of a kind, but she doesn't fit into today's world. Neither do I, for that matter. The weapon he's holding is shaking slightly, wavering. You suddenly notice he's speaking to you in a more familiar tone. That's why I killed them. Bastards, all of them. Rapists, murderers, and liars who escaped prosecution. Now, we said I'd like to do the same thing. I did. Slam a bill into the head of the first murderer she got her hands on. She could get her hands on. But she can't. You just can't do that anymore. A long, painful, heavy sigh. In any case, now there's only one truth left. No more confrontation, no debate, no need for justice to be served. They were guilty and I killed them. I can write that down if you want. It's no secret. I knew it'd be caught sooner or later, either by... Oh. Sorry, my phone rang, and then I accidentally answered. I'll come back to that in a second. Actually, hold 1 second. Please hold. There we go. Right, sorry about that. Okay. Either by beset or by... His sentence hangs in the air. I'm sick. Got cancer. All over. I hope some new drug might cure me, but what's the point, honestly? He abruptly accelerates his speaking pace. I don't want to go to jail. Cop can't go to jail. I don't want to see my face on the cover of magazines and newspapers. But I don't want to deny Beset the pleasure of catching me, her and her team. So, here's what we're going to do. There's a place in Montmartre? A place I really love. It's my first memory of Paris. I must have been 6 or 7. My mother had come all the way from Martinique. She thought she could convince my father to... Yeah, anyway, there's no point in telling that story. No point? Why? He looks away. There's no point because there's no moral to the story. My parents were selfish people. They preferred their own personal comfort to keeping me safe, to raising me right. Anyway, there's a bench up there, not far from Sacré-Cœur? I guess. Bench has 2 clear advantages. First, it faces the city of Paris, southern facing. All the monuments are there, staring back in splendour. He starts to speak with confidence. I especially like it when all the buildings poke out above the cloud of pollution. Ooh, lovely. Notre Dame's square towers, Pompidou and its coloured pipes, the Eiffel Tower. He shakes his head and his voice sounds deep and serious again. The second advantage to sitting on this bench is that you turn your back to Sacré-Cœur, an ugly building. They only built it to rub the church the right way. He looks away and remains silent for a while. His hands shake a little. I want to see Paris one last time. It's a little too early to watch the sunrise, but at least there'll be people around. Lovers, life. I just want to go and sit on the bench, look out at Paris alone for 5 minutes. And then you can go to the meeting point so Beset can pick me up. What do you say? Okay. He's going to kill himself on the bench, probably. You turn around. You'll see, the view is incredible. Neither of you says a word for several minutes. You drive in silence. Then, as you begin to climb up the top of Montmartre, the cop lowers his weapon. I want to apologise. I'm sorry I hurt you the night of the attack. Everything could have turned out so differently. You're nothing like the guy I took down, you know? He was a kid at the time, but there was something in his eye, something bad, something evil. His eyes sparkle for a bit. Tears, perhaps? Seconds later, you park a few metres away from Sacré-Cœur. The bench is right over there. I just need 5 minutes. 5 minutes and we'll go, got it? You nod. Don't do it. I guess the implication is I think he's going to shoot himself on the bench, and we know he's going to. Why would we want... He wouldn't want us to come along, surely. But that could be almost a nice sentiment, actually. Ooh, I'm tempted to see... Maybe he wants to talk more. Yeah, come on, let's ask. He slowly turns his head and watches you quietly for a second. No, no. Thanks, friend. He gets out of the cab. You watch the old cop who takes a few steps towards the bench, walks around it like he wants to look at it from every angle. He doesn't so much glance at Sacré-Cœur and its dome lit up with powerful spotlights. A few passersby, chilled to the bone, are wandering about nonchalantly on the square in front. The cop finally sits on the bench. He stays there a long minute contemplating Paris. Strings of light weave around traffic circles and intersections, making a magnificent canvas. There's a sudden movement. In a matter of seconds, he pulls the gun over his pocket up to his chin. A shot rings out. Oh shit, what did I skip? Did I skip something? I was clicking because it froze. Thanks, friend. Those were his last words. Oh no, okay. It flashed this up anyway. Are you fucking kidding me? No. Lieutenant Bissett watches you, her jaws clenched, locked, more like. What else did he say? He confessed to his crimes. The wire you put in the cab must have caught it all. Oh yeah, I forgot about that entirely, actually. You have the recording. Bissett stares at you for a second before looking away. Shit. Shit! This is not how it's supposed to end. It's not clear or whether she's angry or sad. I thought he was going to shoot himself, not fatally. Yeah. He talked about you. About me? What did he say? It's all in the recording. He said you were like him. Of course. That guy was my mentor. My father figure, actually. He taught me everything I know. That's why I slipped you his file. I couldn't investigate him. No one on the team wanted to either. It was unthinkable and unfeasible. Fuck. Semblance of a smile spreads across her face. Awkward, strained, perhaps. Makes your blood curdle. You're free to go now. Don't leave the country, though. We might have some questions for you at some point. She opens the door. Icy air seeps in. You shiver. You really came through, you know. I didn't think you'd do so well. Thanks. Her voice breaks up a bit with her last words. Who knew? She gets out of the cab and slams the door behind her. A blunt, metallic noise. Unidentifiable vibrations. The car quakes and shakes like a boat. A minute goes by before you can move again. You slowly come back to your senses. Drive away. Key in the ignition, handbrake off, foot on the accelerator. You leave Sacré-Cœur behind. And that's that. Okay, we didn't die. Woohoo! Monkey Moon. Black Muffin Studio. I wonder if there's a way of... I don't want to replay to find out right now, but I wonder if there's a way of getting him to, you know, to do everything but not have him kill himself at the end. It feels very sort of hit and miss as to what's going to, you know, be good or bad, you know, at any given time. Losing money. Yeah, exactly, yeah. We've got a terrible living to make. Yeah. But yeah, interesting. I realised how it was good to finally see how you come to solving the crime. Coat Sink? What kind of name is that? So now that I've been through that, or we've been through that, Team Pet, yay! Jinx, Crocmau, Oni, Richard. I like to think that Richard is a hamster. I don't know why. It's just the funniest animal I could think of with the name of Richard. Giuseppe Guinness, who gave me in secret my first video games and comics that brought me into this beautiful job. Okay. Wow. And Daily Doses of Happiness. Yeah, I'm glad to... Now that I know how it works out, I feel like you could play through other... You could play through other, not quests, what am I thinking, cases, with more confidence, knowing sort of the kind of thing that needs to be done, and basically you've got 7 days. At the end of the 7 days, you just have to have enough evidence to make a decent guess, essentially. Ooh, the sun is about to come up. You drove all night long with your window open. You're so tired, your chest is tight and your eyes are heavy, but you can't stop. Not now. You're going to run out of gas soon. The light went on about 20 kilometers back. You're somewhere in Normandy. Maybe you'll run into that cat you gave a ride to one night. You smile and relax at the thought. You pull over at the shoulder and get out. There's almost no traffic. You step over the guardrail as your eyes adjust to the colourful break of dawn. The sun will soon rise over the horizon. You get your phone out and dial a number. It doesn't ring, direct to voicemail. The voice asks you to leave a message after the beep. I wanted to... You catch your breath. When Aide told me she'd held onto your phone just to hear the sound of your voice, I thought it was stupid. But now, the sun is slowly rising and its colours are flooding the landscape. Bare underbrush, a tiny village lost in fog off in the distance, a hilltop sparkling with dew. The view seems alien to you. Shit. I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to redeem myself. Thanks. The word disgusts you, but it's too late. Thanks to you, I did something important. I mean, I think. Who knows? Silence. Your head is spinning. You haven't spoken to your brother in years. Well, in a manner of speaking. You grin. Wait, Jesus. What do we know here? Your kids are good? What are you talking? Who are the kids? It'll be your nephews, nieces? I don't know. When did that come up? See, it's only the previous playthrough in which we found out what we'd done, that we'd been serving time for someone else. So we don't have that information now. So that's, you know, in theory. We'll just say I'm good, because I don't know who the other people are. I'm good. I mean, I guess so. It's strange to hear a voice, but it feels good too. You pause. Truck flies by just meters from you. I thought when it was all over, I thought I'd be able to get some decent sleep. Close my eyes and sleep, really sleep, finally. But sleeping is just a break. It doesn't put an end to it. It all starts up again as soon as a voice cuts you off. Answering machine. You have reached the maximum time limit, please. You hang up. Your phone feels heavy on your hand. What should you do now? There's a broken fence in front of you, leading to a small footpath into the woods. Behind you is a highway leading to the sea. Oh. Why? Okay. We don't need to disappear, do we? I mean, just get back on with life, I guess. Back in the car. You sigh and retrace your steps. On the other side of the guardrail, you find your overheated cab. The next gas station can't be much further. You slowly turn the key in the ignition. Evaporate. Yeah. There's got to be something for you out there. And that's that. What a weird way to end it. And yeah, and then we get free roaming and so on, a whole new game. What if there could be different culprits? Yeah, I'd like to think there are, but I feel like, at least in that case, obviously there are different cases with different complexity. I feel like in that case it's probably quite set. I don't know if they're all set, but I I'd like to think there are different endings, but I expect each case probably has a very specific way to go because of the amount of setup involved. So I feel like the judge is always the him, and whatever cases are coming otherwise, excuse me, are also set in stone somewhere. How you get there, maybe, the ultimate ending obviously varies, as we found out. But yeah, I don't think the game is big enough to have multiple endings for different cases, like in that regard, because then it would be a different ending with multiple endings for each person, kind of thing. Yeah, but I mean, still, it's an interesting game. I'm not done with it because there are other cases, but I think I will play them in my own time. And this has now been a nice sort of showcase of what it has to offer, I guess, for this singular case, which has taken quite a while to get through. Yeah, and that's that. I'm happy to call that a time. I'll swap this out. So yeah, so we'll see what's who's a watch it's on right now, and we'll head out to someone. Oh, Zolka's streaming. I remember seeing the I don't remember seeing the notification for that, but then it's because I haven't actually looked at my phone. It's something I'd play on here. That's fair. Yeah, I can appreciate that. It's I get a lot of games like that. I see people streaming where I'm like, not my kind of thing, but it's nice to see what it has to offer, what it's like. So yeah, okay, we'll do that. We shall raid out to the Rusalka. And right, where are we? Make sure I spell that correctly. Rusalka. Yep, no bad typing on my part. There we go. And that's that. Yeah. So thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate the redeems, the hydrates, and so on. And we shall be back at the beginning of next week, early next week sometime, with more. We'll have more of the room. We've got the room 4 next week, and something else maybe intermittently. I'm not sure what, but I've got plenty of stuff to do. So we'll have something there, and yeah. So thank you. Have a good weekend. Appreciate you being here, Toadies. Have a good night, and yeah, enjoy your time off over the weekend, your long weekend, and the rooms have eyes. Oh no, that's pretty creepy actually. And yeah, we'll be back beginning next week. So take care, everybody, and see you later. Bye.